Hey, greetings. Welcome back to the Keys for the Unhinged, episode 3. I'm so glad to have you back. I'm so glad to be back. It's been a wonderful day. It's been a wonderful past 2 days, almost. I had to say almost because all of yesterday was not good, but nevertheless, synchronize. You know, for whatever reason, we as people like to seek outside validation. It, when I say outside, I'm not talking about, I'm talking about anything that is outside of yourself. Okay, we like to seek outside validation to make sure we're making the right moves, to make sure we're going to say the right thing, to make sure we're going to do the right thing, take away the right thing, add the right thing, whatever. But we like to seek validation. And for reasons stated, of course, in the previous videos, why we don't particularly 100% trust ourselves. So when we go through certain situations and we pray about something, meditate about something, and then we ask for a sign. We get the sign. When we get the sign, we either, one, see it and it's not good enough, so we ask for another sign. Or two, we see it but pretend that we didn't see it, and so we ask for another sign. Now, kind of to me, it sounds like I just said two of the same things, but sometimes we see signs and we see answers, and we're maybe thinking we did not see the sign, we did not get the answer, and we did. One thing I know, and one thing that has been made clear to me, is that if we ask for a sign about a certain situation, about a certain person, we're going to get what we asked for. Sometimes we're not ready for the answer that we ask for. Most of the time we're not. Most of the time we're not ready for the answer. That's why we act like we didn't see it or we didn't hear it. But, you know, if you have made up in your mind to go a certain direction, to leave a certain person behind, to add a certain person into your journey, to stop doing a certain thing, to take on a certain thing, a certain time in life where you make a choice about something and you pray about it, you meditate about it, the universe is going to answer you and show you an answer. Example, if you're with someone and it's not a good relationship, it's not going well, and you're like, I'm thinking of leaving this person. The universe will give you a sign that's pertaining to that person. And you will either see it or you will not. Hopefully, you do see it. Sometimes we're in situations to where you might cannot leave that day. Sometimes, you could have been married for a couple of years. You could have been roommates for some time. So every single situation, sometimes it's not smart to immediately just leave. Now, I am not saying if you are in a life or death situation, if you are in an abusive situation, you always leave immediately. I am not talking about those situations. I'm talking about sometimes people become roommates and their boyfriend and girlfriend, and then they decide they don't want to be together anymore. And then they have 4 weeks or 6 weeks left on their lease. So either party might not be able to just up and leave because they are in the lease. Okay, so that's the situation I'm talking about. That's an example I can use. So if that happens and you notice that you and your partner are going separate ways, if we keep our eyes open, the universe is going to continue to show you signs about that person or that situation that you're no longer supposed to be in. It's going to continue to reveal these faces to you. It's going to continue to reveal personalities that are hidden, just things that you maybe didn't recognize or things that you ignored. The universe's job is to open your eyes so you can continue to see, oh yes, I'm supposed to continue to walk forward and not look back. A lot of times we're like, maybe we'll give it another try. Maybe we'll, maybe I could sit down and talk to her about it and we can maybe try to work this stuff out. But when it is an absolutely no, maybe even when it's not absolutely no, I don't know. But I know about this situation because this is a situation that has recently happened to me. Maybe, I don't know, but if it's an absolute no, then the universe is going to continue to reveal and show you stuff to remind you that, hey, you're supposed to be moving forward. Don't look back. It's an absolutely no. And we have to pay attention to those things. We have to synchronize parts of our life. Baby, be quiet. We have to synchronize parts of our life. Really, everything has to be synchronized. But I'm talking about the universe situation right now. So we have to synchronize those things and we have to put them in order. And as we see and as things are revealed to us, we should be able to take them, digest them, and then of course, obviously, you want to learn from the situation, whatever it is, to hopefully not repeat it again. Life is it's amazing because we're steady evolving. We're steadily going through situations and things, and that is wonderful. That change is inevitable, and that every day is a day that you can recreate yourself, and that is just it's so wonderful that change is inevitable. Things keep changing, keep changing, keep changing, keep changing. So that's what was on my heart, synchronize, and the universe and how it answers us, and how we all have that intuition. We all have our higher selves leading us and wanting to guide us and wanting to talk to us. And we just have to continue to let go, throw away, discard, so that we can be the best versions of ourselves that we can be for ourselves. It's wonderful. Right now, I am currently dealing with a child situation. My firstborn, you know, I'm going to see what I can say without saying too much. But at the same time, I have so much to say. Sometimes we have people that come through and they are not necessarily acceptant as well. They are not necessarily acceptive. I wonder if that's so. It's acceptive. That might not be a word. They're not receptive. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. They're not receptive to the vehicle they've come through. It happens. Sometimes it could have happened years prior, and we don't look at it and we look at it with rose-colored glasses. My firstborn. His father, he wasn't around because when I got pregnant, he went and he did some time. Okay, the time he did was 18 years. And so, obviously, when he got out, my firstborn was of legal age according to the United States, okay? So, when he was 3 months old, I met someone else. During that time, it is what it is. Of course, I was young. I was 20. I had him, I think, right before, 20, or I had him right before I turned 21. That year I turned 21 when he was born. And so by the time he was 7 months, oh my goodness, I got pregnant again. And it was a shock. The first one was a shock. The second one, it was a shock. And then I married. But the guy I ended up marrying, we both individually were still dealing with childhood trauma, inner childhood healing that needed to take place. And at that time, I had no idea even of what that was. And because you're talking about 20 years ago, y'all. So I was clueless about that. And I didn't know that we both had so much issues. And so, anyways, nevertheless, we did get married, and I don't really remember if my firstborn accepted him like that because he wasn't his biological father. But remember, when I met him, my firstborn was only 3 months old. So that is the male figure that he knew for the first few years of his life. So I don't know exactly what happened and when the turn and when and when the turn was made, but it's like, yeah, you're my mom. I know you're my mom. Of course, I came out of you. You've been there. You're my mom. But not necessarily been accepted. That do not sound right. Not being accepted. Accepted. Not being accepted. I'm using it anyway. I think it's right as being, the mom. Like, sometimes you can have certain things, but you can have things in your atmosphere. You can have certain things in your circle, and those things aren't accepted. They're rejected. So it's been a long 21 years because my son is 21. It's been a long 21 years of trying to prove myself to him. Trying to prove that, come on now, you're my firstborn. I love you. I will walk the moon for you. Stuff like that. But on the other hand, I will only walk the moon for someone who will walk the moon for me. And that's real talk. So yesterday I woke up very, very, very heavy because I have to accept the fact that I have been living in a fairy tale, expecting to finally be accepted as being mom on the level. And that's a really, really not a hard pill to swallow. I wouldn't say that, but it's like, it's definitely a sore spot. It's definitely a sore spot because I have done so much for this child to prove that I'm here. I'll help you. I'll ride with you. But when it's not received properly and when it's received, only when I need you to do something for me, or you only hear from me when I need you to do something for me, or you only hear from me when I need you to do something for me. So it's just, yesterday was so heavy, y'all. It was so heavy, but change is inevitable. Truth is what it is. We can pretend that we see something, or we can pretend that we don't see something, but the truth is still what it is. And the longer you ignore the truth, the more it'll hurt. I've seen signs for years, y'all, that I'm not on that level. that there was a disconnection that had happened. And it sounds crazy. From, to some people, it might sound crazy to hear that. And then to some people, I know they will understand exactly where I'm coming from. You can have 7 children, and for whatever reason, something can happen, and there can be a disconnect in one of those children. That's just a reality. If you know what I'm talking about, if you want to talk about what I'm talking about, if you can explain it, if you want to share your story, hit me up. I would be interested in hearing your story, maybe you sharing your story, because I don't think it's talked about. I haven't really heard it being talked about. I'm not one to listen to podcasts and stuff like that, so it's a very interesting place, you know. But I am just the vehicle that was used for that particular soul to come through. And that's as far as it goes. You know, like, you can't force, if, no matter what, in life, you have to do what is best for you. I am not saying be selfish. I am not saying don't show love, don't show empathy, don't show other emotions and feelings to people, because that's what I think people are to do. But when you put yourself in danger for someone else's feelings, for someone else's thoughts, for someone else's wishes, that's not good. It is not good. We all have light inside of us. When we were born, I think obviously we had a whole lot more than we do now. Once we start dimming our light to fit into circles, start dimming our light to, basically that's why we do it, to fit into circles. I was going to say something else, but that's pretty much why we do it. We dim our light to fit into somewhere, or into someone, or into something. We dim our light. And then when we are to the age of 40, 37, 29, 56, 77, 82, when we are in certain age brackets or get to certain ages, we're wondering, where the heck did our light go? And all you have to do is look in the past, and you see, oh, I lost some light hanging out with this person. I lost some light giving him time, and I had no business giving him time anyways. I lost some light giving her time. I had no business giving her time. I had lost some light messing around, yada, 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 yada. So we lose our light. And then the ones we lost our light for, when you look around at 42, nobody's there. None of the people I dimmed my light for are here. None of them. So you have to, no matter what, keep you safe. I'm not saying, oh, don't never fall in love. Keep your heart safe because if you fall in love, you'll never heal. I'm not saying anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. Definitely, if you get a chance to fall in love, do it. There's always more fish and turtles in the sea, okay? It's always someone else. So I'm not saying no, don't fall in love if you get the chance. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is 99% of people, I'm thinking, has dimmed their light in some way or other. And we're spending time now trying to turn back to our innocent self, trying to find that childhood happiness that we once had. And that stuff sucks. It sucks that you can look back and see how you denied yourself so much. And the ones that you did it for ain't nowhere to be found. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stop changing yourself, stop altering, stop bending to fit in someone else's circle. Your tribe will find you. You will find your tribe. You will find the ones that you vibe with. You will find the ones that are on your frequency. Best believe, depending on whatever frequency you are on, that's what you're going to attract. So you're going to find, or what you need is going to find you. But dimming your light to fit in, dimming your light for friends, dimming your light so you don't have to go to bed by yourself at nighttime. Come on. It's you. It is all about you. It's all about you loving yourself, you worshiping yourself. Because if you do, you will protect yourself. You won't put yourself in harm's way. You'll make sure you stay grounded. You'll make sure you watch out who you have around you. And all of that matters. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm to the point to where I'm tired of people walking on my back. I'm tired of people using me. My children are included in that from 3 years old up to 21, okay? They're included in that. Obviously, there's things that I just must do for the younger children. So I'm not talking about those things. I'm still talking about perfect example. This happened tonight, actually. My son wanted something sweet. He wanted a cake. He wanted something sweet. And I'm like, I didn't feel like cookies because, that's little individual things. It's cake. It's quicker. Mix it all together, pour it, right? So he wanted, he wanted something sweet. And I was like, okay, so I'll make you a cake. I did not have any flour already milled. So that meant I had to pick the einkorn grain and then obviously put it in the miller to mill some flour. And so that's what I had planned on doing. I did do it. I know I said planned on do it like, y'all, I never got to do it. No, I did do it. But the issue was he was fussing that when he came back in the kitchen, that dinner was ready and the cake wasn't ready too. So I'm like, dude, you could have helped me pick the grain. You didn't want to help me pick the grain. You did your schoolwork. You wanted to go and play your game. Okay, but you could have helped me do the cake some way, right? But he did not. And so he was angry that when the dinner was finished, the cake wasn't finished. Y'all. He wouldn't let it go. So, he left. And he came back and he was just still furious about it. And like I said, I think I told you this is the 7-year-old. And I was like, you know what? You don't even need to have any cake tonight. How about that? How about, since you have an attitude that the cake is not finished and I was working on it and it will be finished tonight, you will be able to, it will be finished tonight. You asked for a cake and I know you wanted it tonight, so it will be finished tonight, but I'm sorry, you will not get none tonight. It's unfair that I do 95% of what you ask of me, and I might get 60% of what I ask from you. And by that, I know you're like, oh my goodness, he's 7, but I'm sorry. If I asked you to clean up your room, I should not have to say it 5 times. If I asked you to pick up your laundry, I should not have to say it 5 times. It's like the same rules have to be said every day. I know that stuff, it is irritating, okay? It is so irritating. So, like I said, I was like, dude, you're not having no cake tonight. I don't care. You're not having no cake tonight. You asked me to make the cake. I'm getting to the cake and I will make it and it will be done before you go to bed so you can have the cake tonight. And you're mad that it's not done by a certain time. Oh my goodness. So I told him he couldn't have none. I mean, come on now. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm tired of people walking on my back, and my children included. Y'all, I cook from scratch. Everything, okay? I bake bread, I do the pizza dough, I pick the grain. Well, like my daughter will help pick the grain. My husband will help pick the grain. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about we eat fresh stuff. Like, that's how I roll, and I put so much love, energy, and definitely time into cooking and baking and doing stuff for my family that if I'm not getting the same in return just by me asking the little stuff I do ask from you, or you respecting that, okay, you asked for a cake and it won't be done for an hour and you being satisfied with that, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And so that's what it is. And it's okay. I mean, like, it's okay. Without a doubt, I love my babies. The way that they eat today should sustain them for the future. They will know, my mom cooked that from scratch. My mom did that. My mom did that. Oh, I remember I didn't grow up. I didn't have these issues. I didn't feel like this. I didn't da-da-da-da-da. And it's just seeds that I'm continuing to plant so that they can carry it into the future. And, so it's, being appreciated. I'm not one for words at all. We use them, obviously, to communicate, but like for someone to say, oh, I appreciate you, I don't care to hear that you appreciate me if you're not showing me that you appreciate me. I mean, like, keep the words to yourself, Actions speak louder than words. And the way you act tells me exactly what thoughts you're having and how you feel. I mean, shoot. I don't want to hear, oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. What your actions show? Then, I mean, If your actions don't meet your words, then it's like blah 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 to me. You know, I mean, goodness. It's just, I think my children are spoiled, y'all. I think they're spoiled, but it is not to like, ooh, I do their laundry, I fold their laundry, I clean their room. I will help them organize it though. Too often, like, oh my goodness. But I like organizing things, so it's not like necessarily work, but I do make them give me some quarters for it. I don't just do it like I'll go in their room and I'm like, oh my goodness, you need to clean up. And like I said, I like organizing stuff and picking through stuff. And so, I'll help. And if I see quarters, best believe I'm like, I'm taking this quarter. You just paid me for helping you. And that's for real. That is for real. But y'all, I had never imagined that I would have any children. Shoot, when I was younger, I wanted to travel the world and I didn't want to be nobody's wife. Because I wanted to just deal with me. I didn't want to have to do all that. And now I'm doing all that. But I love it too. A lot of times we don't know exactly what it is that we need. Sometimes we won't necessarily pump our brakes ourselves and stop. And so sometimes the universe is just like, yo, stop, and maybe that was the universe bringing the children down, because I needed to stop. And I love it. I'm one of those people who would just continue to have children. But, I'm also enjoying myself, like not breastfeeding and not being pregnant. Oh my goodness, I am enjoying that. But I love babies too. They're amazing. Children are amazing. People are amazing. It's just being able to have the opportunity to sit with someone and to converse with someone and to share information, and you're learning from me and I learned from you. It's just awesome. I learn something from my children all the time. I know too, each child is supposed to teach you something about yourself too. So it's just, life is wonderful. Wonderful. Yup. Well, excuse me. Now I got the hiccups and stuff. Yeah. Excuse me. It's 11:20. I did this recording at this time. I have not recorded at nighttime yet because the morning time didn't happen for me. And I was laying down and I was stretching and I felt to do it right now. So here we are. I've actually had planned on sitting here doing it while I stretched, but I don't know what happened. Mission not accomplished. Or half mission accomplished. But nevertheless, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll be back. I hope that you send the podcast to someone who could possibly benefit from it, who can hear something that will help them, you know, um, how do you say that? That will help them help themselves, you know? Ooh, y'all. Mm, interesting. It was a thought I was having. I had an idea. Well, rest well. I am laying down. I'm going to rest well. And I will meet y'all back on the next episode. Keys for the Unhinged. See ya.